Wyomissing Borough Council to order. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And just so everyone is aware, this meeting is being recorded for public viewing at their pleasure and consumption. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brunner?
Here.
Councilmember Stenkel?
Yes.
Councilmember Romer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Here.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Here.
Council President James?
Here. Okay, for tonight's meeting, we did have an executive session where employee matters were discussed. Are there any public comments this evening as pertaining to items on the agenda? State your name and address.
Adrian Jadik, Wyomissing resident. Good evening. I'm speaking on agenda item 10.4, authorizing advertisement of ordinance 1456, which would begin the process of rezoning part of 5 Wyomissing Boulevard, the Atonement Lutheran Church. According to Planning Commission minutes, this ordinance would rezone about a third of an acre at the Penn Avenue corner from R1 residential to TC Town Center. The applicant's own statement in the minutes says the ultimate goal is to sell the subdivided parcel. There's no land development plan, no site plan, no proposed use. Rezoning is supposed to serve the public welfare, not individual convenience. Pennsylvania MPC paragraph 603 and the 2008 Joint Comprehensive Plan both require that zoning changes advance a clear public benefit and be consistent with the plan. But this request does neither. The comprehensive plan shows this property as public/institutional in an R1 district and warns against incremental encroachment of commercial uses into stable residential neighborhoods. This change isn't made for the borough's benefit, it's made to help a single owner sell a building. That sets a precedent for any property along Penn Avenue to ask for the same treatment simply to increase its sale value. There's a reason this corner was never zoned town center. It sits at one of the borough's busiest intersections where church and daycare traffic already back up onto Wyomissing Boulevard. The comprehensive plan it identifies this exact intersection as a traffic management concern. Rezoning to a higher intensity district without a parking or access plan directly contradicts that policy. Now about the timing. Back in October, Solicitor Hardman told the Planning Commission that they could either record the subdivision first or, quote, rezone by legal description now and record the subdivision later, because that would be faster. So tonight, its outgoing counsel with an outgoing solicitor is being asked to advertise a zoning change that is not time sensitive, not reviewed yet by the County Planning Commission. And I'd really like to ask our solicitor, what's the rush? Is the church moving? This could just as easily wait until January when the new council can review the full record, including the county's comments. Because if they decide to do this, they will live with those decisions. The Planning Commission record also shows that Commissioner Fred Mogul abstained from voting on the atonement rezoning in August because of his own words, his affiliation with the church. Then in October, he made the motion to approve atonement's waivers on the same property. That kind of flip-flop undermines confidence in the process. I'm asking council to ensure that members with any affiliation recuse themselves consistently so the public can trust these decisions are impartial. I'm asking, please table advertisement until County Planning Commission review is received and made public. The map and legal descriptions are available for residents to see. The public benefit, if there is one, is clearly stated on the record. In closing, this isn't about opposing a church. I don't mean to do that. It's about common sense. It's about the process, it's about the precedent, and about the public trust. A normal way to do it is you split the property, it will be an R1, then you sell it. And the new owner comes to the borough with his plan, what he wants to do, and then zoning and planning commission approves that plan. This is backwards. The church says, oh, we're gonna turn this into a TC
You have 1 minute.
because we don't know who's gonna buy it, but we know we wanna sell it. Obviously a TC brings more money than R1. Residents deserve to know that zoning decisions aren't being rushed through in the final weeks of an outgoing administration to improve the terms of a private sale. Thank you so much.
Anyone wish to make a comment on that? Who's the next one? Okay. Are there any other public comments this evening? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move along. Before you is our council minutes of October the 14th. And I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Consulting engineers report. Mr. McCarthy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, mostly everything's in the report, but I will give everyone an update on Berkshire Mall. Today, they finally submitted plans that we were able to approve as their amended stormwater management plans and issue their amended stormwater management permit. As of 4 o'clock today, they were extremely close to having the last 2 items done so that the fence on the woodland side of the mall can be removed, which was to finish up the line striping and to put temporary paving in a section of asphalt that had a sinkhole that developed. So I'm going out tomorrow morning as soon as the sun comes up and hopefully can issue that letter that they could take the fence down on that side of the mall and at least open that up for the mall mall stores and our residents to get safely around at least that side of the mall. So significant progress has been made along the south side of the mall. Most of that work on the State Hill Road side of the site is completed. They've moved down to the Sears Auto Center. And then the plan would be in about 2 weeks, there's a section of pipe in front of the Halloween store that we're going to have them remove all the fence, but fence that area in so they can complete that as the last area. And then we don't want them, we want to make sure that that work isn't being done in an active parking lot at that time. So hopefully in the next month, it'll all be completed out there.
So you're saying 2 weeks to decide on State Hill Road for that section of fencing to come down? Is that what the expectation is?
Tomorrow, hopefully the fencing on the woodland side will come down. Yeah, they said that they're going to finish at the Sears end and then move back in front of the Halloween store that actually, I think they just actually moved everything out today.
So the other portion by the food court entrance between food court and Boscov's, when would we expect those fences to come down?
Hopefully in 2 weeks when they're done at Sears, that the temporary fencing will move to about a 500-foot section, about 50 feet wide, in front of where the Halloween store is. I don't know, better landmark than that. So that they can do that last 500 feet. When they get in there, everything else will be done on the site that has to be done now. And then hopefully they get in and knock that 500 feet out and then remove that fence. And then they have things they have to do long term, but at least that gets everything completed and opened up for the holiday rush before we. I was out there on Saturday because they worked Saturday. The parking lot was pretty full at the Boscov's end and the former Sears end. So I can only imagine that's going to get worse. So hopefully tomorrow we can hopefully give them the approval, and they said it will take 2 days for the fence company to get in and mobilize to remove the temporary fence, at least on the north side.
Is there some expectation that once all this is done, somebody's coming in there for the Christmas holidays, or that's not anymore?
Is somebody what? I'm sorry.
Is it your expectation that once this stuff is done, that there'll be the people coming in for Christmas, or it'll just be a nice parking lot?
Well, from what I saw on Saturday, it was pretty crowded already in the sections of the parking lot that aren't fenced in. So I would just expect as we get, I'm not a retail expert, but I just, from living and working around here, you know, the traffic around the holidays gets pretty bad over there.
Yeah, I've been surprised as well, because for not having these stores, it's a lot of cars.
Well, I guess there's a lot of little stores. Just missing a couple really big stores that used to be there at this point. And Boscov's seemed to be very, very busy on Saturday when I was out there. So it was at least positive. They worked Saturday and Sunday to try and keep things moving forward.
Did they address the heating and air conditioning problem?
I saw an email from Kraft's office that they were going
Jeff went
asking to
out.
do a test this afternoon.
Yeah, Jeff went out and the temperature is holding at 67.5 degrees, which I personally think is a little low for inside of the mall, but he's gonna go back in a day or two. I mean, the temperature does not go above, I think, even 61 degrees over the next 5 days, so I would suspect if the heat is not working, it's going to continue to drop. 65 is the number.
So progress.
A year later.
Anything else?
No, I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory in the report, unless someone on council had any additional questions.
Anyone have any questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve the engineer's report.
So,
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Jim. Fire chief and mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, Chief Phillips.
I have no further comments this evening, but the chief will, of course, highlight his report and entertain any questions. Chief?
Good evening, everyone. The mayor said if you have any questions at the end, just let me know. I'll try to answer them for you. So for the month of October, we were available for service for a little over 3,000 hours. We handled 671 calls. 174 of those were in our business districts, while 36 were in our residential communities. Took us an average of 6.85 minutes to arrive on location, and we spent an average of 30.4 minutes on a call. I've listed our training that we did for the month. As far as assistance goes, we gave assistance a total of 25 times and received it 13. Our community service events for the month were pretty busy. We had a lot of activity with the Citizens Police Academy. We participated with Coffee with a Cop at Wawa here on Penn Avenue. We had the school district's homecoming parade and pep rally down at Happy Hollow, and Spooky Hollow event at the end of the month. With school coming back in session, I started to go back into the school again, working with the forensics class. I was there at the end of the month helping the kids develop fingerprints and how we lift them and information that gets put on those. And they had to do it on some things that I took in and the teachers grading them on. So I like going in and hopefully I'm helping these kids be interested in this kind of career one day. So we got our signs up on Lincoln Avenue and Deborah Drive. It's a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit in both. Our 85th percentile on Deborah was 23.55 and Lincoln was 28.63. So we're not seeing an issue with either of those locations. On October 6th, our newest officer started, Stephen Hernandez. He's in his field training and he should be done with that in early January. He's doing very well thus far. We had an aggressive driver detail in the month where we issued 16 citations and 34 warnings. As far as our call goes, our top 10 is pretty much always the same, with traffic violations being by leaps and bounds ahead of all of our others. 5 p.m. was our busiest time of the day, and Friday was our busiest day of the week. Breakdown of our census tracts and where they are, again, they're usually pretty much the same, where CT7 is usually our highest, and that's basically where we sit now. And that is because of a lot of calls that we take at the department. That gets listed as CT7 since we're here. Now you can see our crashes for the month. We had 67. We issued 177 citations, warnings, and parking tickets, combination thereof. 36 people were arrested. We dealt with 3 wanted people. We had 39 UCR offenses, part 1 and 2. Which, our incidents other than crimes were 632 out of that 671. As far as arrest information, DUIs was our biggest offense for the month. And our busiest days were tied at Thursday and Friday. The breakdown of those UCR offenses in comparison, so we're sitting at 75%, which is we're right where we've been. When you look at the numbers from last year, we're pretty much the same. We had 393 by this point, so we're 387. And as we went down from 23 and 22 and 21, so we're still seeing a slight decrease in our crime, and we're still seeing a relatively very high clearance rate. So we're doing well in those aspects. Fuel was just over 1,000 gallons and just over 8,400 miles were put on our vehicles. And in our fine monies and invoices for things and request for reports, we brought in just over $14,000. So if anybody has any questions,
Chief, have you seen any changes over on Glendale that you've been concerned about for some time?
I haven't. I mean, I'm not sitting there. You've seen that we have put a few stops over there. We've seen in the blotters. We've had a few, mostly stop signs in that general area. So I mean, they're sitting there. We're not getting anybody for speed. And, we don't have the signs up, so I can't say what the speeds are showing there right now. But we've never seen an issue when we have our signs up. That it just may be that people see it, it tells them to slow, and they do. But as far as traffic counts and the study that we had done, I still haven't received anything from the company that came out to do it. I was going to give them until the end of the month, quite honestly, to see if they can tell us where we're at. But short answer is no, I haven't seen any real issue.
I'd just like to ask you a question. We talked about gas consumption in the past, but with the price of gas going down, is that a significant factor in your photographs?
With what?
Well, are we saving a lot of money now that the price of gas has dropped dramatically, or we don't know?
I'm going to have to look at it. I have a spreadsheet that tells me what I get charged each month in Phyllis, and it's usually in the $2,000 range. What we're spending, so
For each month?
For each month, so it's as far as a yearly comparison, I'd have to look into that.
One comment I would like to make, it was either last month or the month before, there was an allegation that our police department is not community minded because we don't do the night out or light storm or whatever that's called. I'd like to call everyone's attention that last month we performed 8 community service projects, 8 in 1 month. So the accusations that we're not community minded are once again, like so many other things, are complete false and a lie.
It is true that we as Wyomissing don't do National Night Out, but we did help as we do. And the week before that, we did the carnival. So we were at the summer carnival, kind of our unofficial National Night Out here. We were doing stuff during National Night Out.
Yeah.
The other thing I would mention is, it's not an allegation or a shot. A number of people have asked over the years that we have a lot of police officers, but we don't see a lot of police presence on a regular basis driving up and down Cleveland or Garfield or Lake, just for purposes of being seen. That's something that in the past was sort of expected. It's not happening as much anymore. I don't know if that's something we want to try to do. People feel comfortable when they see a police car go by. They don't realize they're doing something else. So it's just a thought. I've heard it several times.
Are there any other questions for the chief or the mayor? not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen. Fire Chief's report. Mrs. Barrett.
You received the October activity report in your council packet. 159 responses were given for the month of October. You can see the mutual aid numbers. The yearly response total is 1,531, which I believe we're going to set another record this year for total responses year to date. In regards to the average turnout time, I would like to address some comments that were made on social media. I spoke with Captain Seitz today regarding claims made by an individual on social media that the fire department's response time has increased over the past 3 months. Captain Seitz is the person responsible for compiling reports from First Due, which is the reporting software program the fire department uses. Having had no formal training on this aspect of First Due when former Fire Chief Holmes resigned, Captain Seitz was pulling an average response time report. After Captain Seitz did some time-consuming investigation, he found out that Chief Holmes was using a turnout time report. The key difference is that the turnout time report is the time from when the fire department is alerted, which is commonly known as when the tones drop, until the apparatus is pulling out of the station heading to the call. The turnout report is only timing paid career staff who are already at the fire station. The average response time measures the time period from when the tones drop until the apparatus arrives on scene. It also factors in the response time for volunteers and fire police, which is a key difference in that those individuals are not at the fire station and are often reporting from other locations much further away. After comparing the two different reports, now that he knows the difference and how to pull them, Captain Seitz was able to confirm that both turnout and average response times have not changed whatsoever recently or in the past few months. The social media post also implied that the borough's insurance service office rating, commonly known as the ISO rating, is in jeopardy, which could lead to higher private insurance costs. This is completely false and is a dangerous statement to be made by any individual who has no intimate knowledge of the borough's fire department or its operations. ISO ratings are based on multiple factors, including company training, equipment, water supply, emergency communications, and community risk reduction. 50% of the overall rating is based off the fire department itself, which evaluates staffing, training, distribution of stations, equipment, and response performance. The next 40%, for a total of 90, is based off the availability and maintenance of the municipal water system, including fire hydrants. The remaining 10% of the ISO rating is a combination of emergency communication and community risk reduction, which includes everything from fire inspections, public education, and fire prevention efforts. While there has been a lull in fire inspections performed within the past 3 months, the ISO evaluation is performed every 5 years, reviewing criteria for each of the categories within that 5-year period. I do not think there should be a reason for concern over a reduction of inspections performed within a few months of an overall 5-year period. In the continued absence of a fire chief, a discussion will be had with the captains to determine the best course of action moving forward with the commercial fire safety inspection program. Outside of that, I would like to bring your attention that the Kimberton Roundup program, the benefactory of that was the fire department for the month of October, and a total donation was made to the department of $7,954.44.
That's great.
It was.
I'd like to ask a question. In the beginning, when we hired the chief, we were happy to know that our inspections were going to go up dramatically, which they did. I think he was at close to 170 at one point in the last few months. There was also a discussion where Kraft came in and said that they would do inspections for free. I understand why they're not being done because vehicles go on. But I wonder what happened to Kraft and the number that they were going to do for free because they've only done 3, which is not a big number.
I don't.
They're on record saying that.
Excuse me, sir, you're out of order.
So Kraft is still serving as the fire code official for the borough. They are out on every new zoning use and occupancy inspection with Nick from Jim's office to do the fire inspection.
fire inspections.
There's a difference between a annual commercial fire safety inspection and a zoning use and occupancy inspection. It's the same type of inspection. Annual commercial fire safety is I'm going to XYZ law office at the same location every October to inspect everything from the fire extinguishers to the fire suppression system. A zoning certificate use and occupancy fire inspection is I'm a new tenant that's going into the Berkshire Mall for 6 months or forever, and you need to come in and check my space for the first time to make sure my fire extinguisher works, my smoke detector works, my means of egress are in place. Two totally different things.
Well, I get that, but what I'm wondering is, in the past, we didn't have a breakdown of inspections other than the inspections that are shown on this graph that we see every month. And that number has dropped dramatically. I don't know what they're inspecting, they were always, they were always there through whatever category.
Right there, year to date, 355.
It's right there.
Yeah, year to date, but what I'm trying to say is that year to date, it was established under the previous chief, and the number that we had, not year to date, but 2 months to date, was probably 12. And that's my question, not how many have annually, since it's almost over. I'm talking about what has he done since he's gone, and what has Kraft done, how many have they done for free that they said they would do?
So
Which is a separate
again,
subject.
Kraft is doing a different type of inspection than what you're referring to. So take them out of the equation for commercial fire safety
I
inspection.
take it out of the equation, because part of the equation was he was helping, Ethan do them. So if there was a whole other ballgame, we were playing the same ball field, playing football on one, baseball on the other.
I'm not following you, I'm sorry.
When we talked about Kraft, it was in the same conversation, we were talking about Ethan and our getting up. We were told that Kraft was gonna help do inspections for Ethan.
And they
to take the pressure off of Ethan.
did initially.
Because he was the chief.
Let me just clarify, so, I'm looking at the June activity report for the fire department.
Okay.
And inspections year to date in June were 278.
Year-to-date total?
Yes, in June, the year-to-date total was 278.
So when, the question is, when Ethan left, how many were there, and how many have we done since he's gone?
Well,
And if that's
there was
simplified-
no.
I mean, to answer the
report in
question very,
July.
very basically, no one is actually going out doing commercial fire inspections at the moment outside of the zoning use and occupancy. I would also argue your chief was spending an exorbitant amount of time doing fire safety inspections, taking him away from managing the department.
I'm not-
Since
I'm
June,
not-
we've done
So,
80.
and let me
Now-
bring up, I
That's a
think
lot.
we can bring up one other thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and
since
put this
June, we've done 80
whole
and
thing
five,
up-
I think we're doing okay.
I think we can put this, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
One thing, and it's been brought up numerous times, is that the staff on duty, the on-duty firefighters, they can't call a property and schedule a time to come inspect their property. Because what happens if they get a fire call and they leave? Property owners don't like that.
Excuse me, I'm not trying to turn this into a global discussion on air traffic control. I'm looking at one guy who came here and hardly had done any. And Tom Boucher and everyone else thought that improving the inspections was going to be great, and Ethan was gonna take charge of it. Unknown to me, when I found out, he was the one doing the inspections. And I said, that's kind of a big job, or a little job, for a big guy who shouldn't be doing them. He said, well, I like to do them. So he kept doing them and doing them and doing them, and we all thought that's great. So now all I'm asking is, we didn't have a big discussion on how many people we didn't have or did have. We just thought he was going to increase the number, which was going to help in our ISO ratings, which you said several times that was going to help. Now he's gone, and Kraft was going to help do them. And all I'm wondering is, who's doing them now, and is Kraft not doing them when he said he would do them with the chief? That's all.
Again, you're confusing the type of inspection Kraft said they were gonna do with the other inspections.
But they were
Okay.
in this report.
No, they weren't. The zoning certificate of use, the zoning certificate of occupancy COs and those inspections were never in this report. If they're anywhere, they're at infrastructure. I'm the one that puts that report together.
We were told that Kraft got a license to do the fire inspections.
Which is
and that they were
correct.
gonna help us do them. So would they not have been on here if he was doing them, or are they another piece?
I'm sorry, I don't know how else to explain this.
I don't know how to understand.
Two different types, same type of fire inspection in terms of what they're inspecting to under the fire code, two totally separate processes. You are an existing business. I, as the fire, in this case chief, go out and inspect your business annually, looking for the same things, versus, hi, I'm a new business, I need a certificate of occupancy to operate, here's my permit application, come and inspect me. Two totally separate
And I'm
things
your fire-
reported
and
to,
I'm your fire inspector, Mr. Kraft.
yes.
Okay, but we never had a listing of the number of crafts you're doing.
That listing is in the infrastructure report, not the fire report.
Oh, really?
Okay, let's,
All right.
we gotta move that. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay, two clarifications I'd just like to make. You know, once again, this individual has been very busy on social media. As far as response times go, just a point of reference that the NFPA standards say 7.5 minutes to leave the station is the norm. So we're getting out way before the NFPA standard.
I'd go one step further and say that the difference between your turnout time and your response time is an average of a minute. So kudos to our volunteers that are showing up because they're not getting there that much further behind.
Right. So, and the other thing, I guess I misspoke because the same individual seemed to think that I promoted or gave Michelle another title, and that being as fire chief. Yes, I introduced her one time as fire chief there as a sign of levity. And I'm sorry if somebody was so gullible to take that for real. So just to clarify that point as well. Okay, and you said any other questions for Michelle? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the fire chief's report.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to the committee reports, we'll first start with refuge and recycling.
Thank you. Melissa did a very detailed report, and I'm very grateful for all the information she included so that people have a good sense of what was discussed at the last meeting. I'd like to highlight that the contracts which went out to bid and we awarded the lowest bids have all been signed, certificates of insurance have been received, and bonds have been received as well. We will be, the refuse and recycling pickups will be on the same day as they are currently, even though we will have two different haulers. So I think that's really great for the residents because they don't have to learn something different. We had a long presentation by representatives of people promoting a single-use plastic ban, and they were joined by Representative Judy Schwenk's office, who was interested in passing legislation concerning this. The committee decided that we did not have enough information about how this would affect the businesses, and we asked them to gather more information. They said they were going to do a survey after the meeting. I drafted a survey for their consideration. I don't know what information they solicited or whether they'll be coming back to us, but our hope is they will come back to us after they have some data from the businesses telling us essentially whether it would be helpful to them or harmful to them to have this ban. Refuse and Recycling Committee has one-year terms, and I want to thank Paula Fisher, Bill Glasser, Jen, and Ron for their service on the committee. I'd like to thank Bill for helping me to be chair of the committee, and I'd also like to thank Randy for putting together either Talking Trash or Trash Talk. I always get it backwards. But Randy's doing a great job. Thank you very much. And Michelle and Melissa, you contributed as well. And thank you. That's my report.
Anybody have any questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to library board, Weinhoff.
Thank you very much. Library Board met on October 15th. At this point, they are working to follow through with some of the strategic plan objectives that they set forward. If you remember earlier this year, we did give them the go-ahead to amend their bylaws to allow West Reading residents to serve in a limited capacity on their board. That, and with the research that they did in figuring out who utilizes their services, they did go over to West Reading to request additional funding from them to help with their operating costs as well, so we're waiting to hear back from them. They did have a successful start to their fall winter fundraising campaigns. We expect to see them at a bunch of the rec events coming up. I know they had their election day baskets that they were excited about, and the raffle baskets will get pulled on the trolley tours coming up. So if you are a familiar trolley user, make sure you get those tickets early, because they do mostly sell out. And those are really the big things overall from the report, unless anybody has any additional questions.
Anybody have any questions? Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to the infrastructure committee, Mr. Bruner.
Okay, the infrastructure committee met on October 20th, some matters for council's approval. First one is the committee's making the recommendation to authorize the purchase of 10 traffic accident injury release vouchers for the animal rescue program to be provided for on the TVNR program participants. Make that motion. Second.
We have a motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We don't have the money for funding it.
It's $500, it's within my threshold, but
It should be.
Okay. We'll take a roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko? Councilmember Breimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President James?
Yes.
Committee is also making a recommendation to approve payment application number 2 from Construction Master Services LLC in the amount of $426,609.36 for 2025 street improvements. I'll make that motion. Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor? Excuse me, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Breimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President James?
Yes.
Committee is also making a recommendation to approve payment application number 2 in the amount of $154,723.20 to Gordon H. Baver, Inc. for the Berkshire Heights Playground retaining wall. You ready to make that motion? Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Is this all like balanced out? I know there was an issue between the
There's
retaining
been
wall
a
and the
resolution
equipment.
to that,
That's
and
what it is.
the project should come close, not in the next week, but I would say in the next 2 weeks, the project will be complete.
But everything's kind of level
Yes.
with it, okay.
There's been a
They were there
resolution
today.
to that.
They were there today.
Next week.
Any other questions? Roll call, or, yeah, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko? Councilmember Breimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Committee is also recommending to approve payment application number 1 in the amount of $22,457.05 to Construction Master Services LLC for the Wyomissing Professional Center Swale project. I'll go ahead and make that motion. Second.
Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Breimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Committee is also making a recommendation to approve authorizing change order number 1 in the amount of $7,600 to Construction Master Services LLC for the Wyomissing. Did you see that one? No. So it's not the Wyomissing Swale project, sorry. And I'll go ahead and make that motion. Second.
With a motion and second, is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President Jenkins?
Yes.
And Fast Bridge Fiber is starting to move forward with some more laying of fiber optic stuff. And the committee is making a recommendation to approve the right-of-way occupancy agreement for Fast Bridge Fiber for the next phase of the fiber installation. Anybody make that motion? Second.
Motion and second. Question? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Make a motion to approve the infrastructure committee report.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Brunner. Moving on to the Personnel Committee, Mr. Mogul.
Thank you. We met on October 21st, 2025, and there's only one action item for the council, and that is to approve, deny the receptionist and administrative support position descriptions, which are very detailed, very well done by admin staff. And I make the motion to accept them as written. It'll be difficult to get people to fill those positions, meeting all those requirements, but
Second.
We have a motion and second. Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the Personnel Committee reports.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Recreation Board, Mr. Weinhofer, Mr. McKinley.
Thank you so much. Recreation Board met on the 21st. And I guess I'll kick it over to Randy before getting to the motions we have. So take it away, Randy.
Thank you. Nice to see everybody again. wanted to start with Chief Phillips. Forgot to say, slipped his mind that last week we were both invited to participate in the high school's career day. So that was more getting out in front of the kids, and Michelle came over to watch us.
That's in November.
Oh, for me it all blends all together. So, but yeah, it was great going over there again. Jana, thank you for coming to the Fall Walk Series and making it through the hailstorm that we had. We had our final Fall Walk Series. Terrible weather, cold, wet, hail. We still had people show up, so it was good. Finished up really with all of our fall events. The Pumpkin People was a tremendous success. We had so many positive comments, and the library was actually voted with People's Choice. They had the best display. House booing, Spooky Hollow was a huge turnout, over 3,000 people. The Haunted Pavilion, bringing it back, was amazing. A lot of support from everybody, volunteers, so we really had a great carnival. Now we're really getting into the holiday stuff. The fun runs and walks start. The first one is on the 3rd at Berkshire Heights. The second one is on the 10th at the Hills. And the last one is the 17th at the high school. And then at the Lighting of the Greens on December 6th with the rain date of the 7th. This last week, from a facility standpoint, we started renting space for the Berks Ultimate Disc Association, Buddha. They are renting 2 hours every Wednesday night to play Ultimate Frisbee. We charge them $50 an hour. They'll be there tomorrow night playing. They love playing out in the cold, so they'll have a good time. Jim updated you on the Berkshire Heights project. And that's really all I have for you, unless you have any questions.
We did have a couple of motions here. We did have a motion come out in reference to the fees. I know this has been adjusted from finance since we had our recommendations, so I'm not sure.
Are you going out of order?
Please not mention.
You're looking at motions from the meeting, not motions from this.
Oh, sure. My apologies here. I was looking at the minutes.
Yes.
Take that all back.
About that. I'll take that all the way back. So then we are just looking at reappointments, I believe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So we are looking to appoint Mike Shearer, Jessica Chrisman, and Jess Leinbach effective January 1st, as voting members for 5 years terms, set to expire January 31st of 2030. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. Any question on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And I will make a motion to appoint Liz Tuigo to a vacant position on the Recreation Board effective November 11th, with the term set to expire December 31st, 2027, and I'll make that motion.
We have a motion and second. Question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'll make a motion to approve the rec report.
Are there any questions of Mr. Weinhofer? Okay, we have a motion. Somebody second?
Yeah.
Jen? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to Finance and Administration Committee, and we're back to Mr. Bruder.
This was a special budget committee on October 22nd, and I'm not really going to report much of anything except we started out as a little over $6 million deficit. And that's all I have for that meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to the Fire and Police Committee meeting, which met on October the 27th, with a few actionable items. First one being a motion is needed to approve authorizing the resignation letter provided by Police Officer Shannon Barr, and I will make that motion. Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion is needed, authorizing the certified list of qualified officers for the sergeant promotion and authorize hiring the top 2 qualified candidates for the sergeant promotion contingent upon the successful completion of psychological and medical testing. And I'll make that motion.
Second.
I appreciate considering amending that motion so that we're hiring out of the top 3 instead of the top.
This is for
This is for sergeants.
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
The next motion is patrol.
Yeah, we're talking
If
sergeant.
you're comfortable with the way it's worded.
If you remember from Fire and Police, 2 of the candidates,
Right.
so the 2 candidates that are remaining ended up as number 1 and number 4. So I guess they're basically the only 2 that are there right now.
Where's the top 2 qualified?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
This is for
one and four
sergeants.
is left. The two qualified. Out of 4.
That I was
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Are there further questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, the motion is needed authorizing the recertified list of qualified officers for the patrol officers' positions and authorize hiring one of the candidates from the top 3 candidates. And I will make that motion.
That's contingent.
Oh.
No, same contingency.
Oh, that are listed
And is there a second? We have a motion and second.
But we're gonna do 1, not what's listed as 2. on paper.
That is correct.
One of the top.
Yeah,
One of the
motion
top
for-
3.
Motion for 1, yes, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we have the ordinance here, ordinance number 1455-2025. An ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, First County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 15, Part 4, Section 401, entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times in certain locations, to amend the existing prohibition of parking on Hill Avenue, north side between Park Road and Reading Avenue, and amending section 403 entitled Parking Time Limited in certain locations, certain days and hours, to change a portion of the no parking zone to 15-minute parking on a portion of Hill Avenue, north side between Park Road and Reading Avenue. Hearing that ordinance, I'll entertain a motion to approve or to authorize advertisement of ordinance number 1455-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Question on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, the motion is needed, authorizing the hiring of 2 entry-level firefighters / EMT candidates contingent upon successful completion of the remaining background checks, physical and drug screening, and I will make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a question on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Are there any questions regarding the Fire and Police Committee report?
May it please the President, you want to make it clear that the Bridgestone and RP management will cover the cost of that temporary park there.
That is,
You guessed it, but you didn't mention that.
oh, did I mention? Okay. Yeah, thank you. It is important that, that temporary parking in the 900 block of Hill Avenue, and it's with the understanding that Bridgestone Company and RP Management will cover the cost of the signage and everything associated with that.
Make it for a motion to approve the fire and police committee.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And back to Mr. Brunner.
Okay, there's a special budget committee meeting, special budget meeting on October 30th. We went from 6 million down to a deficit of 2.431 million. Still not enough, but that's really all I have for that meeting.
Second.
Motion and second to approve that meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Brunner again.
Okay, the regular Finance and Admin Committee meeting on November 6th. Some items for our approvals. A motion is needed to regulation was to deny, right?
Yes.
Sorry for that. Yes. So, the committee is making a motion to deny, rejecting the request of property owner of 151 Woodland Road to pay the 2025 real estate taxes in a discounted or flat period due to the general understanding that tax bills are distributed early spring every year. I'll go ahead and make that motion.
I think you said deny rejected. I think what you meant was approve rejected.
Approve rejecting, my fault, my apology. How about just say rejecting? Thank you. I'll just say, so I amend my motion to reject the request of the property owner.
We have a motion and second to reject the property owner's request. Question on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
The committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing the issuance of $434 to the utility account for 919 Franklin Street due to a leak that occurred which did not pass through the sewer system. And since that's what we have set precedents to do, I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay. Resolution number 25, number 2
through 2025-19, a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, authorizing official action relating to receiving statewide local share account grant relating to the Borough of Wyomissing Fire Department station renovation. So, we're making the motion to approve and adopt resolution 2025-19 as to submitting the statewide local share account grant. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution 2025-19 is adopted.
And then the last one is, committee's making a recommendation to approve to approve the 2026 meeting dates for advertisement. Go ahead and make that motion. Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Go ahead and advertise.
Okay. More budget discussion thereafter. Now it's a negative variance of $2.122 million. So we are having another special meeting on Monday, the
17th.
Thank you, the 17th, to figure out how we're going to bridge that gap, whether it's more cuts or more ads. So we'll have that meeting on Monday. I believe that's right after the fire.
Infrastructure.
That's right after the infrastructure committee, one of the meetings that has to be at. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll make a motion to approve the Finance Administration Committee report.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Good job. Moving on to the Borough Manager's Report. Mrs. Baird.
Good evening again, Borough Council. The JMA and the Western Berks Water Authority meeting minutes were included in your council packets. I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve, it should actually be accepting the Met to a time extension, accepting their time extension request that they're granting to us to review and approve their plans through February 11th of 2026.
So moved.
Motion second. Question on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve advertisement of ordinance number 1456-2025 for a public hearing and enactment at the December 2025 council meeting, which is an ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, to amend the Code of Ordinances of the Borough of Wyomissing, Chapter 27, entitled Zoning, to amend the zoning map of the Borough of Wyomissing to rezone a 15,821 square foot portion of the property at 5 Wyomissing Boulevard at the intersection of Wyomissing Boulevard and Penn Avenue from the R1 Low Density Residential District to the TC Town Center Residential Office District.
Someone wish to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion. I'll second it.
I have a question.
Question on the motion.
Could you explain how that takes place with respect to the discussion that we had earlier with regard to R1 and TC? Are we presented with a plot plan of some sort to distinguish between the two, or does it just happen that day?
So first of all, to back up a little bit to address the comments made at the beginning of the meeting, the borough was developed, specifically that part of the borough was developed long before zoning was a concept. Wyomissing was one of the first planned residential communities in the United States, and zoning came a little bit after the fact of a lot of things, mainly on the Boulevard, Penn Avenue were there. Zoning came into play after the fact, so it made sense. We're gonna put zoning in place to match what already exists. In terms of the conversation that took place at the October Planning Commission meeting, I was not there. I was on vacation that week. I would defer to Chris or Jim as to process, but the subdivision plan has to be approved and recorded, and then before anything could happen with the newly subdivided lot, a land development plan would have to come in for that lot that's being created for the property that's being rezoned.
Yeah, further to the process, the ordinance has a legal description and a plan exhibit that clearly depict the area, so I don't think there's any doubt about what is being proposed for rezoning. Part of the discussion about how to proceed was that if the subdivision plan was approved first, it would be recorded reflecting a zoning district designation that the planning commission had recommended be changed. And so it would have been immediately, I think, misleading or inaccurate to have a recorded subdivision plan with a zoning district designation that was already in the process of being changed. So it seemed to me it would create a clearer record down the road to have the zoning district changed first, so that when the subdivision plan was recorded, it would already depict the zoning district classification for both pieces of the property that the planning commission already intended would be the outcome. So that was why I think it was advisable to proceed with the zoning amendment before the subdivision plan was finally approved and recorded, so that the information about the zoning would be on the plan.
So I just, what I'm trying to get a picture of is, whether, I mean, it's sort of pretty simple, 15,821 square feet, so that's pretty easy to get a map, figure out what the setbacks are for R1. When you get to the TC aspect, that's a little more complicated, because you're not sure what you're going to do with the parcel that's in question, plus what may have to happen to move your standing in front to the right, add more property to the TC designation. My question is, this is something going to B or C, based on 5, which comes after 4, then isn't there some need to have a plot plan for a house is one thing, which is all about plot plan for the TC designation has potential to grow before our very eyes, or at least not even see it from the grass is provided. Plus, the other part of my problem is, we're looking at a property which is, I guess, the address is 5, 4, 5, I guess. Is the TC designation then open for the house across the street, which I think we just spent 3 years arguing with PennDOT to keep that corner in there free of roundabouts and all the other junk that clog up the whole plan. They say, now we're going to basically set the stage for a TC designation, and the possibility that Fred's brother might decide to turn the hotel into knock it down. There's a hotel across the street, which is
It's
supposed
an apartment building, first of all, and second of
Well,
all, has nothing to do with this one.
Well, what I'm suggesting is it may very well have something to do with this.
I don't think so. It's across the street.
This property is the old Borough
It's
Hall,
the
correct?
Hall, yeah.
It's the
It
old
never
Borough
was a
Hall.
residence at all ever.
I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with all 4 corners of that property. I've lived here for 40 years. What I'm saying is, if you have properties that are already designated what they are, and you want to turn it into TC designation, that could possibly happen to the one across the street from.
No, that wouldn't make any sense, because TC designation, the only use permitted by right is residential, everything else is special exception.
By what?
The only thing permitted by right in the TC zoning district is residential. Everything else, every commercial use is permitted only by special exception, so it has to go through the zoning hearing board. Nothing special, it's not like a variance that you have to prove a hardship, but you still have to go through the board, so criteria
But
is
it's
set.
not going through the zoning hearing.
It's going to have to in the future if it's zone TC.
Yeah, I know, that's the whole question. If it gets zone TC, then it goes to the zoning hearing board. To get there, we have to somehow final
It
way.
has to depend what use goes in there.
And what's
If
across
there-
the
if it's
street
not
is
gonna be
already
a house, it's
commercial
probably gonna be a
zoning
commercial
district.
use.
Yeah.
So they'll have to come before the zoning hearing board.
Right.
So they don't know what use it is.
Right, but if you're gonna go to a meeting to listen to somebody tell you they wanna turn it into TC, if they wanna turn it into R1, it's pretty simple. R1 is
It
residential.
already is
It already is
R1.
Yeah.
Okay, then, they don't have zoning approved subdivision. Right?
They didn't subdivide as an R1, because as soon as they would do it, have the wrong designation. And they'd have to file another subdivision plan with the
So why
correct
do they have to
designation.
go anywhere if all they wanted was R1 designation
They
to start with?
Don't want
They don't
R1,
want
they
R1.
want
They
They did in the
TC.
beginning.
No, they didn't.
We're talking about now, they
It's
don't,
always
they're,
been R1.
it's always
It's
been
always been
R1.
R1.
Now we want it to be
But
TC.
now they want to go to TC.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is consistent with everything else on that side of Penn Avenue from, my God, the 1300 block down to the borderline with West Riding.
Yeah.
So let
It's
me
the
ask
same
you-
as the rest of the, same as the rest of Penn Avenue, that's fine.
In a
Say
TC
the
then,
greenhouse is TC,
No, that is the one
That's
break
the
for
one
residential.
so that's the one in the corner.
Well, that's the
But
one
nothing's
exception.
happening to it.
No kidding, because somebody lives there.
This is a
And
residence.
it's also a residential home.
My point is, I live here, I like the way it is now, and I think that if you turn that into TC, it's gonna be a commercial setting, as opposed to, if somebody builds a nice tutor on that property, it keeps the character of Wyomissing.
They have the right to do that under
Then
TC.
vote against it.
yes, if it is TC,
I'm trying to
you
get
can
a
build it
picture
a
for
home
what's-
By
on
right,
TC.
by right, no
And then
relief,
you have
as
to
long as
get-
you meet
then
setbacks
you-
and coverage.
Then you
yes.
have to get variances or approvals to do anything outside of.
Special
Special
exception.
exception.
Nothing special about a
But
special
what's on both
exception.
sides?
But what's on, yeah, on one side is the church, on the other side is the dentist, I think, or something.
No, Irvine.
That's, yeah, dentist is
Yeah,
down.
sometimes
These
in
Across
people
the
are,
street
yeah.
is the pizza shop.
Very
and-
It's
well.
all commercial.
Yeah.
Right,
But it's not
And
for
the
the
dentist
residents.
shop's next,
right.
so offices.
The whole point is, if we're gonna change the character of that, if we kept PennDOT people out of there, and now we're gonna turn it into a commercial spot, it sounds to me like we might as well have a roundabout there, because it's gonna be complicated.
It's already a
No, no, no,
grandfather
no,
non-conforming
no,
Yes, it
commercial
does.
use.
But my
You're
opinion,
I'm gonna
we
ask
tried
the
to
President, move the question
Yeah,
forward. I
this
call
is
the
just
question.
getting-
I think you should be recusing yourself.
I call the question.
Because you're part
There's
of
A motion and second was made, I have the right to call the question.
not on that question.
Sure I do.
You're the one that
Anyone
said
does.
you were part of the,
Can I call the
of the
question?
church.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna
Move along.
Well, you're talking nonsense.
Yeah, this is, if you don't like it, don't vote for it.
be, I'm trying to figure out
So,
what has to be.
we have a motion and second. Are there any additional questions? I think we've kind of exhausted it.
The question I have, do we give up anything by moving it to TC, creating a juncture between TC and R1 that we don't run into anywhere else? Those two designations align everywhere else, correct? There's no new problem between aligning them?
No, I mean, again, your use permitted by right, your only use permitted by right in both zoning districts is residential.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 6-1, motion passes.
Moving on, I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve authorizing advertisement of ordinance number 1457-2025 to revise the non-uniform pension plan language for vesting requirements, specifically an ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, to amend the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 1, Administration and Government, Part 4 Pension Plan, Section B, Non-Uniformed Employee Pension Plan by amending Section 421 entitled Definitions, Section 424 entitled Retirement Benefits, Section 425 entitled Death Benefit, Section 426 entitled Vesting and Severance of Employment, and Section 431 entitled Termination or Amendment of Plan, to reduce the vesting requirement from 10 years to 7 years and to clarify the eligibility requirement for receiving a disability pension benefit.
Okay, you've heard ordinance Entertain a motion to advertise.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second to advertise ordinance number 1457-2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. So authorized.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve an agreement with employee number 29, conditioned on a final version of said agreement that is acceptable to Special Labor Council and the Borough Manager.
So moved. Second.
Sunshine Act
So noted. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to conditionally approve a settlement agreement with employee number 11, subject to his being employee number 11's approval of that agreement in a form that is acceptable to the Borough Special Labor Council.
Sunshine Act Police Department.
So moved.
So,
First, we acknowledge the sunshine, your, whatever you want to call it. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And I'm respectfully requesting a motion to conditionally approve a disability pension with employee number 11, subject to that employee's appropriate compliance with any filing requirements.
Anyone wish to make that motion?
so moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Finally, it's not in my report, but I wanted to add, tying on to what Randy said, I did have the pleasure of hearing both him and the chief speak at Career Week last week, and I think they might have convinced at least one or two kids to look into a future in either law enforcement, or Randy's speech was more about how everything he's done in his life has led him to this point and has kind of all come together. So I thought both presentations were very well done.
Good job, John.
I've heard you saying from other people.
Make a motion to approve the borough manager.
Motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to the Treasurer's Statement of Operation, which includes the General Fund, the Bureau of Water, the Sewer Fund, the Highway Aid, Refuge and Recycling Fund, the Road Tax Fund. Mr. Reeser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few financial tidbits. Year-to-date through October, revenues exceed expenses by about $500,000, so that's good. Year-to-date.
Yeah, I forgot to cover this, thank you.
But,
Or we're about good.
so that's a good position to be in. Looking at year-to-date actual versus budget, excuse me. Revenues are less than budget, which in this case would be unfavorable, in the amount of about $1.3 million. And expenditures are less than budget, which in this case is favorable, by $1.5 million. So we're pretty daggone close on that year-to-date. So I think budget and actuals look pretty good when compared to budget. So pretty happy with that. Pliget, October's balance was about $8,700,000. The December 24 amount was about almost $8 million. And the October 24 was about $8.5 million. So we're actually have more in Pliget now than we did in the last year. We have about $8.7 million in Pliget. If you recall, that's the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust.
We haven't heard that.
I have to write it down because I never remember the name.
Everybody hates to show up.
I wasn't gonna ask you.
But we have our monies invested there at different interest rates.
Of those monies, Dave, how much are they designated or reserved for some other, for some definitive?
This is only Pliget money.
Okay.
It's
None of
not
it.
reserved,
Okay.
as I recall, yes.
Yeah, and one of the things we're gonna deal with the budget, what the budget looks like at the end of the year is we were expecting some grants to be sent to us and have in check and turn around and put it in the bank, of which we're not gonna get those the way it looks. There's also a few expenses that will get, that were supposed to be done in 25 that won't get done until 26. But the offset is significantly greater to the amount of money that we did not receive yet from the state versus the amount of money that we're not pushing off, it just didn't get done until 26.
Yeah.
So a good chunk of what it'll show you our revenues are short is because, quite frankly, Harrisburg hasn't sent the checks. How's that sound?
That's because of the mess up there on the budget.
I won't speak to that. I believe that's true, but I only believe that to be true in my opinion.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And lastly, the fund balances look reasonable when compared to the 25 budget and also to last October. So I say that every month, but that fund balances really don't fluctuate that terribly much, so I guess that's good. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Reeser?
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you again. Okay, and in your packet was the accounts payable report, which includes the general fund, the Bureau of Water, Sewer Fund, Refuge and Recycling Fund. And I will entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable report.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President Jones?
Yes. Okay, also you received the tax collectors.
Oh, sorry.
You received the tax collectors report for the month of October. I do see an amendment, just a typo actually, on the motion. You changed that from September to October. And I'll entertain a motion to approve that report.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, this time we'll move on to public comment segment of, and this would be for non-agenda items that are or may come before the council. Does anybody have any non-agenda item comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
The water holding in the
She's like, I could make Johnny.
I thought we had it.